All right, let's rock and roll. I love the guys in the back. That's awesome. Good to see you back there. Ladies in front. I don't know, is that there's a lady in the back. That's all good too. Some of you are here because you have to. Some of you are choosing to be here. Is that right? And so I have the pressure on this morning to hopefully have you leave the presentation and say, I'm glad that I came. I know some of this is recorded possibly as well. So some of you that are going to be watching this later or even virtually live now, welcome. My name is Todd Romer. I am the founder of a company called Young Money University. I am a speaker as well. I teach money and I teach how to become financially successful. Also have a book called Young Money on Amazon. What you're going to hear today is not traditional financial education. I'm not a big fan of those words. I'm also not a fan of financial literacy. I'm not going to teach you today to be financially literate. Not that that's a bad thing, but those two words together, financial literacy, that's like nails on a chalkboard, if you will. It just doesn't sound fun, right? It sounds like you're not smart, that you have to come to a financial literacy workshop. Just there's negative connotations to it. However, I'm going to teach you to be financially successful today. You can change your behavior from the money system within 24 hours. Who likes the sound of that? No matter what age you are in here, it's true. And I will also teach you in step 4, 5 powerful steps. This is not a dramatic statement today, but in step 4, I will teach you how to be ridiculously wealthy. I repeat, ridiculously wealthy if you're interested in that. Not just because that's your goal, that's all you think and care about in life. No, but it's the truth. But there's some other things to the system that's going to make you hopefully leave here feeling less stress about money. Who likes the sound of that? More financially confident to then go and achieve whatever is in your desires, your heart, goals and dreams that you have in your heart and your mind that we all have. So that's what we do. And I've been honored and privileged to be here, blessed to speak again at CWI. There we go. That's a website that if you want to follow us online, that's completely up to you. If you want to take a snap of that, youngmoneyuniversity.com. And from there, we will talk about how this all started. Again, youngmoneyuniversity.com. If you wanted to, let me go back and you want to take a snap. That was a little fast. I get you. I'm faster than your age group. Wow, that's a first. Yeah, right. So this is how it all started. So you get the background. We started this magazine literally in the basement of my home. I live in Cincinnati, Ohio. This is all sponsored by Mountain America Credit Union, who has credit unions all over Idaho. Anybody heard of Mountain America? They're based out of Salt Lake, but they have about 100, well over 100 branches, I think 150 plus. Wonderful credit union that's sponsoring all of this and has for several years with me. So, but anyway, we started this magazine out of the basement of our home many years ago. Anybody recognize some of these people up here? Mark Cuban, owner of the Dallas Mavericks. He also partakes as a shark on Shark Tank. Anybody seen that show? It's a fun show. We've had people like Danica Patrick on here. She's the first professional female race car driver. We had a lot of celebrities, a lot of personalities on the cover for many years. While that was fun, kind of cool, we didn't know if we were changing lives with this magazine. So we switched and kind of got out of that business and we started this tour, which is what you're part of right now. But we don't have the tent out. That's been many years ago. It's just kind of what we did. Boy, did we have some fun responses. Welcome. And we had all kinds of people of all kinds of backgrounds, of all ages, come up to us on a campus tour like this and really tell us their concerns, their fears. Also, they also asked about things that they wanted to do, but they didn't know how to do it. Like, how do I start investing? I actually have a decent amount of money, they would tell us, but I don't know how to do it. I love my parents, but they're not telling me how to do it. And also I had some, I'm stressed about money. I'm going into debt or whatever it is, they would tell us. And they were very vulnerable in letting us know, hey, I want to get ahead with money. I want to do it differently. Again, I love my parents. We heard a lot, but I just want to do money differently than them. Anybody in that camp today? Yeah. Doesn't matter if you raise your hands. You're not throwing your parents under the bus. We have a lot of people that are taking the money system and telling their parents about it and changing. So, by the way, we have teachers, coaches. I just spoke yesterday 3 times to student athletes, graduate assistants, and coaches at Boise State. How fun was that? They left fired up. All age groups are like, I think I'm going to do this too. So the question for you today is, you're going to be one of these 2 people next week, next month, next year, potentially next decade. And we want to make sure that you can go from over here to here. Who likes the sound of that? But can someone tell me, this is where the engagement begins, because I'll be very real with you about how my life did not go like this financially. In fact, I rarely know of any human being who's had a financial life that's been just smooth. But my question for you today, what are people doing that put them over here more as a financial survivor? What are they doing with money? Or what are they not doing with money that kind of puts them in a living paycheck to paycheck life? What are they doing with money? What are they not doing with money? Anybody want to take a stab at just what you think is going on? Yeah. Yeah, totally get that. Yeah. And so we have different things that we do. Some of us may be overspending. Anybody in here? My hand's always up to my own question. Whenever I speak, by the way, around the country, been speaking all over, I always speak to myself. There is something I learned that comes out of my mouth. I'm like, and I have something to share with you in about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so that happened a month ago in Cincinnati, that I'm like, ooh, I get to share this story on tour, because I actually have to walk the talk, and it's going to be a fun story in a moment. But so some people are overspending, maybe as a financial survivor. Some maybe are choosing to not invest, right? Some maybe are thinking like I did again in my 20s. I was like, I'm in a little debt. I'll be fine. I'll make more money. That whole mindset that we have sometimes. And so can anybody tell me, it's a record now, as of 3 months ago, the latest statistic, what's the percentage of Americans living paycheck to paycheck today in America? What was the number? How much? More than 50? It is more than 50. Keep going. Keep going higher. Crazy, right? 68%. So let's just move it to 7 out of 10 Americans, okay? I believe there's another 10% of Americans that are just doing okay. I have this amount of judgment against anybody living paycheck to paycheck. That's 0. Been there, done that. I am no better or worse than any human being on this planet, right? And so we're, with the money system and Young Money University, we're trying to put a dent into that number. Let's bring it down. And it really begins with anybody at any age, so that you can teach your children. I can go on, and I don't have the time to tell you the testimonials of people that are on the money system that are already teaching their children. Just little pockets of information, which is really fun. So I'm going to teach you today how to dream. In step 1, I'm going to teach you, believe it or not, yeah, you're like, wait a minute, I already dreamed, sir. I know how to dream because I do it. I get that. Anybody dream multiple times a day in the back? Yep, me too. But I'm going to teach you how to do it differently. That's all, just tweaking it so that it really moves you to take action. Steps 2 and 3, save and spend money differently. All this is, it doesn't sound too exciting, but hear me out. Steps 2 and 3, I'm going to teach you, is all about teaching you how to do your money differently during the month. Because right, wrong, or indifferent, we all live in a monthly financial world, correct? We pay our bills monthly, we get paid twice a month, we look at our monthly budget, everything's monthly when it comes to money. So that's, you're gonna like this because it's gonna help you reduce financial stress, who likes the sound of that, and increase your financial confidence and giving you more control during the month. And that's gonna help build up your belief in reaching your goals that you truly have for your life with money. Then I'll teach you this crazy step. Number 4, truly put on your seatbelts because this is the crazy step to help you get to ridiculous wealth. Remember that, what I said? Not wealth, but what kind of wealth? Ridiculous. And then this is a fun step. Anybody want to help other people down the road in your life to impact those who are truly in need with your wealth? Wouldn't that be a fun life? I will teach you how to get what you personally desire. But you all know this. If it was all about Todd getting what Todd wants, his sweet house, car, travel, whatever it is, nice meals, what you fill in the blank. If it was all about me getting all that, I would have the most shallow, hollow life and really bad feeling over time. Would you agree with that? Same thing. So that's really a fun step because we're seeing that happen as well. So here's step 1. That's also chapter 1 of the book, Young Money, as well. Make a decision to dream. You've got to make a decision, not today, sometime pretty soon. I'm going to help you, though, to get the dreams that I know you have out. And so how you do that? It all starts with describing and putting together a life why. So I asked randomly, there's no right or wrong answer to any questions pretty much that I asked today. But why does somebody in here ultimately want to be financially successful? What comes to mind? What's that? Poverty is terrible. Yes. Yes. So on the flip side of that, with the dreams that I'm sure you have, what are some of those dreams? They don't have to be, I rarely hear, I want 2 mansions. I want 5 Lamborghinis. I don't get that on the tour much. Your dream is to start a business. What is your name? Jamie, nice to meet you. Anybody sound like that sound? Anybody else want to start a business in here someday? If not, there you go. Awesome. What else? What's another why? Anybody? Yeah. Ease of mind, less stress, maybe? Yeah. Awesome. For sure. Give me one more dream. I'm giving you permission to dream. Yes, sir. Travel. Who likes the sound of that one? What's your name? Jed. And what was your name, ma'am? Sorry. Trista. Nice to meet you. Jed wants to travel. Yeah, that's pretty, we hear that a lot. Again, we don't hear much. I want to have a 10,000 square foot house. We hear there's nothing wrong with that. Go for it. We hear a lot of, I want to experience life. Travel gives that to you, right? Different places. I used to live in Florida. I could spend 30 years finding different pockets just in the state of Florida that were amazing. I'm like, oh my gosh, it was like, really? I didn't know this exists. This is just in one state. And so people come out here, by the way, they come out to Idaho, they come out to Utah, whatever, the Pacific Northwest, and they're like, this is cool. So all kinds of things. And some people are like, well, in the winter, it's not cool. But anyway, totally get it. For sure. So here's why you need a why. And if you don't have a why today, that's okay. That's normal. You're like, I don't know what my why is. I'm just so stressed about money. I just want to, I don't know. I don't even dream anymore. Well, here's why you just need to have some kind of why. It could be as simple as, okay, I just want to have a decent car to drive. Whatever it might be. I want to be able to buy something when I want to. I just want to travel. Just write something down within a week because you need one, because your why will be your motivation to keep you on the money system. You've got to do that. If your why is in here, and if you, I'm staying real with you today because I want to see you guys soar, and you will. If your why is, well, I just want to be rich, I will tell you like it is. That's going to be the weakest why on the planet for you. It will not move you to do anything. I just want to be rich will not move you to do anything. Speak about travel. Speak about, I want to have less stress. I want to have a certain kind of house. We had a young gal at University of Utah that described her kitchen and what it's going to look like in detail. I'm like, she even talked about what would be on the counters. KitchenAid, color, whatever that mixer thing is, whatever, you guys know this stuff. She's like, I'll have that there, and bar stools and the island and granite. And I mean, all the people are starting going, well, wait, okay, I'm going to get my dreams out. So whatever that is for you, you got to get a why. Within a week will move you to start taking action, at least. All right, listen, look at this. I came in from Ohio and I've said nothing yet about money. It's called the money system, right? I've told you nothing about money. This is why step one is so powerful, because this last bullet point, we need to clear out the clutter, the crap, the garbage that's in our heads. We have limiting beliefs as human beings. We all do. No matter where I travel, where I speak, it doesn't matter who 4-year private institution paying $60,000 a year in tuition. It doesn't matter what students I talk to. They all have the same human tendencies of limiting beliefs. So we're going to call out 2 elephants in the room today. There's one big fear that's getting in the way of you reaching your goals and dreams. And there's one big lie that you're believing about yourself from time to time that is also getting in the way of you reaching your dreams. Can anybody tell me, what's the one fear that some of you have? The fear of what? Failure. What is your name? Elizabeth, nice to meet you. Anybody have that going on? I better have hands up or your Pinocchio's, the nose is hitting the screen. I still have it. It comes in. It's just natural. But when it comes in, what I do now is I'm aware of it. I call it out. Sometimes verbally when I'm driving, okay, I'm feeling nervous. I'm feeling anxious about something. It's all about fear, nervousness, and anxiety. The source is fear of something. And so I call it out. And so then what I do is I take some kind of action within 24 hours to mitigate that fear. Does that make sense? That's the antidote of the fear of failure, is to do something as soon as it comes in. That could be sending an email to a prospective employer, maybe, or wherever you're trying to do, even if they say no. Well, what if they aren't hiring? What if I call them? What if anybody play the what if game in their head? It's not a fun game, is it? Been there, done that. I am human. I experience everything that you're experiencing. So to counter the what if game, we just got to take some kind of simple action, getting on a phone call, sending a text, getting the no's. Who cares about the no's? Because the no's are going to lead to a what? A yes eventually. But if you don't take the chance, you don't take that action, and you're paralyzed by the fear of failure, that's when it can get a little ugly. Does that make sense? So that's how you overcome the fear of failure. By the way, failure is not bad. Failure actually is good. That we're told the world tells us failure is bad when it's the opposite. When you're failing, that means you're getting closer to where you want to go, right? That's it. So finally, fill in the blank. We all need to fail our way to what? Success. Fail your way to success. It's the only way to get there. I had to learn it. I still learn it. Now look at this one. This one's really, really hitting home. Boy, we had, I don't know, 50 student athletes yesterday at Boise State, all backgrounds, playing all sports. They're all human like you, different worries, fears, etc. What's the lie that some of you believe from time to time about yourself that's getting in the way of you reaching your goals and dreams? Say again. You can't do it. What's your name? Martin? You're circling it right on top. You can't do it because why? Boom, you nailed it. Fill in the blank. How many of you feel like Martin from time to time? And trust me, there'll be hands up. If their hands aren't up, Martin, are there posters in here? Nope, there's not. So how many of you believe from time to time that you are not capable enough to reach your dreams and goals? You even said the word capable. How many of you believe you're not smart enough? Just fill in the blanks of blank enough. How many of you believe you're not good enough? That's been coming up lately. How many of you believe you don't deserve it enough? I love that. I love that you're being vulnerable with me. Not that you have that. I have it all. We all have it from time to time. The good news today in Nampa, Greater Boise, Idaho, coming in from Ohio. The great news today is that all of you in this room, listening on camera, on virtually, recorded or not, you already are enough. This morning, you're enough. You're capable enough. You're already smart enough. You have it enough. You deserve it enough. And you're way more than good enough. God does not make junk. You guys already have what it takes. When you see steps 2, 3, and 4, you're going to be like, wait a minute. My 5-year-old niece and nephew can do the money system. I am capable enough. But it's okay that you have these feelings. It's natural, these limiting beliefs, and we're just going to crush them. So everybody okay with step 1? How are we doing? You like what you're hearing? It's true. You got to get this stuff out. Money should be taught in a psychology class, not in a personal finance class, technically. We have to clear this stuff out. So here we go. Some real money stuff now that you can do. What are we at? Maybe close to 10:30. So by 5 o'clock today, technically, some of you, all of you, could do steps 2, 3, and 4. It's that crazy. All right. Save money differently. Step 2. How many of you have a savings account? How many of you have a checking account? Awesome. You need a checking account to do the system. But watch what I'm going to tell you next. I love looking at the eyes of people, the faces when this bullet points up. Like, okay, I like step 1. This guy kind of sounds good on step 1, but now he's completely whacked. He's telling me to get rid of my savings account. That sounds bizarre, correct? How many, Martin, again, how many Americans are living paycheck to paycheck? It's okay, 70%. Yeah, 68, we're going to call it 70%. Another 10% are doing okay. Do we want to follow the herd in America that are doing money that way? We want to do something different, right? So watch what I'm talking about. We want to get rid of our savings account and start doing this instead. Create multiple named savings accounts. I call them digital envelopes. You know why? Does anybody have their, can I just hold your cell phone for a second? I promise I won't do anything. Wait, I'm going to purchase something. I'm kidding. Is what I'm holding your bank or credit union branch? You rarely go into a branch, correct? You are using digital money all the time. Who's got PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App? You're sending money digitally. So why not create digital envelopes of cash for your needs and your short-term wants of 3 years or less. This is what we want to change our thinking, just change it a little bit today. Remember, step 2, this is about your monthly financial life, short-term stuff, to give you more control and more control, less stress. Watch what we do next. You want to start moving money automatically. Who likes the sound of that? Automatic. The money system teaches financial automation so that you can get the heck out of the way of yourself with money. When Todd gets in the way of Todd with money, things don't end well. When I automate my life and get myself out of the way of me, things go much smoother. Do you guys follow? This is our human nature. So move money automatically from your checking account to these named accounts each month. You can tell your bank or your credit union on your mobile app or your online with the bank. Set up the 15th, maybe the 25th, whatever you want to set up. Move money into, here are some example savings accounts. There's others that you could create. These are just examples. But ladies in the room today, how many of you would like to have a savings account called clothes and shoes? And the hands go up. Any gentlemen? And the hands go up. Think about this. If you value clothes and shoes, why would you not want to set up an account called clothes and shoes? And you're putting maybe starting out just $10 a month. Who cares the number? If you can do more than that, that's fine. Automate into that account every single month because you value clothes and shoes. Someone, was it Jed that said travel, right? Would you like to have a travel savings account? Because you value travel, you said. Every month, Jed is set up the 15th of each month. 20, 30, 40, whatever he can do, 50, whatever you can do, goes into that new account called travel. Who likes the sound of that? You're naming your cash, because when you have and do what majority of Americans are doing, which we don't want to do, and you have everything in an account called savings, yikes, that's causing stress. You don't even know it yet. We had a student 2 days ago said, last week rather, Grand Canyon University. He's like, he went, yeah, it causes stress. As soon as I said that, because he got it. You have ideas for money in that account called savings, don't you? Of what you want to spend it on. That's causing stress. Well, I want a new skirt. I have money for a new dress. I have new shoes. I want some new boots. That's in there. Oh, some travel's in there. Maybe a new camera someday. Whatever it is, you got a bunch of stuff in that thing called savings. But then, what about this? When you have an account called savings, anybody dealing with this in the last 12 months? Who's got a phone call from your mechanic in the last 12 months? Do you have a hand? How fun was that phone call? It's not fun, right, Martin? Not fun. It's a terrible phone call. The phone call kind of goes like this, pretending my cell phone is here. Yeah, hi, this is Todd. Yeah, I don't know much about cars, but what'd you find? Wow, okay. How much did you save with parts and labor again? Don't you love that, parts and labor? $1,300 in tax. Okay, yes, I can pick it up on Friday. Click. I am polite on the phone. In reality, I hang up the phone and I have emotional pain. I then go, wait a minute. Oh, man, all that, I have money to travel in my savings. I had to take it out of my savings now. And that was for my shoes. Those are going to be a new pair, whatever. The whole cycle continues. You guys follow? It's a terrible place to be, but guess what? It happens thousands of times a day in America, that phone call. And it's very, very hard to endure. But this is the truth of the matter. This happened 4 weeks ago, like I said. In Cincinnati, I have an Acura. and I haven't had anything wrong with it for a while, really a car repair for a long time. And so I was putting $150 a month every month into my boring account called savings account called car repair, because I knew something's going to happen, right? Correct? It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of what? When something's going to happen to your car. So I was doing that for a long time, and I got a call from my mechanic because my car was not accelerating like it used to. I'm like, something's up, and my lights are on, and beep, beep, like something's wrong. And Acuras are not cheap to fix. He said, it'll be $3,300 plus tax. If I was saving money way back in the day in one account, I'd be like, what? What I did after the call is I got onto my phone and I switched, swiped rather, money from my savings account called car repair. I estimated with tax it was going to be around $3,500. So I swiped $3,500 over into my checking account within seconds. I showed up on the following Tuesday, handed my mechanic my debit card, and I paid cash for my repair. I was not jumping up for joy, like, hey, I have this, but I had no anxiety or stress. Who would like to live like that when something out of the blue will happen to you? It's not a matter of if, it's when. So this is what the money system teaches. You can create all kinds of different accounts that line up with what you value. Anybody in here, what account would you open up within 24 hours that makes sense to you in your life, or even something that's different than up there? What stands out to you? What would you do? Yes. Education savings account. A medical savings account. Yeah. If you're not provided an HSA from your company, right? That's good. What else stands out? You just need more. Yeah, that's great. No, 100%. I love it. What else? What else? What would you do, for example? Clothes and shoes. Yes, I like that. Awesome. Start out with, you can always increase it to $30 a month. It takes seconds on your app. As you make more money, ladies and gentlemen, you just plug and play bigger numbers. As you get married, if you choose to, if you have children, you just add another account like we had to do many years ago. We knew that our son loved to play baseball. We knew travel baseball was something he desired. Well, we got ahead of the curve and put, what's coming? Travel baseball for Jack, or braces for Luke. And now we don't have those anymore because they're much older, but you just add another one that lines up with your life as it advances, right? So in the back, what would you guys do? Give me one more. Home maintenance. Yeah, what is your name? Erin, love that. We had an instructor. She was, I'm guessing, was in her 50s at Utah Tech University in St. George 2 years ago. She was very excited about the money system. And I come back a year later. She said to her students, she said, I started to do the money system. I created a savings account called Home Repair. And 18 months later, her air conditioning unit went out. Does stuff happen also not to a car, but also to a house? If you owned a home, go ask a homeowner. Stuff happens. She had the repair. She had to, no, it just does. Homes they're not perfect either. Houses rather. So she had a bill, or it was a new AC unit she had to get. And it was going to be about $7,000. She had about $5,500 in her home repair savings account. That made her feel awesome. I can't describe it. We're going to move on to step 3 in a second. I'm calling it now the phenomenon. Here's what happens. I can't explain it. It just happens. We've had many people go, that's exactly right. When you start saving money into these accounts with names, and you put it on automation, things start to happen because time goes by fast in life, correct? When you turned 18, life started going faster, right? So what's going to happen is you're going to look at your savings accounts in a few months and go, oh my gosh, I got $190 in my close account. Whoa, I got $310 in my car repair. It's like, how does this happen? Because of automation. You're naming your cash. It just happens. It just does. I can't describe how and why. It's just the phenomenon that happens when you do it. Any questions on step 2 before we move on to step 3? Can you do this? Can anybody not do this? Take seconds with your bank or credit union. By the way, I get the question, does every bank allow named savings accounts? Pretty much yes. If they don't, politely move on someplace else to find a place that does. It's super important. If your bank, credit unions typically don't, so I'm just talking about banks now, I'm not anti-bank, but if your bank requires you to have a minimum balance in each of these named savings accounts of $200 or more, if not, you'll get a fee if you go below that number, politely move on to some other bank or credit union. Can I be that real? With a raise of hands, how many of you bank where you bank, but you really don't know why you bank there? You just bank there. Anybody have that? We get it everywhere we go. I am not here to sell you on Mountain America Credit Union, but I will tell you, you'll be super pleased with that credit union and their mobile banking app. They can give you up to 99, crazy, but it's true, savings accounts that you can put nicknames to. Minimum balance only required is $5. So I'm a big fan of Mountain America. All right, let's move on. If there's no other questions, to step 3. I'm going to put all these bullet points down because it's this fast of a step. Who likes to spend money? Most Americans do. Most human beings do, right? All you do is you're going to, let's just do this real fast, is to create a zero-based, I'll explain, monthly spending plan or budget, that's all this is really called, by assigning each dollar of your income to a fixed or what you value expense. That's it. So let's say somebody in here, I have no idea, I'm just throwing out a round number, is making $1,500 a month of income, okay? If it's more, if it's less, doesn't matter. What you do, can I use your name? What's your name? Danny, nice to meet you. Using Danny as an example, she makes $1,500 a month. All Danny has to do within the money system is to open up a Google Sheet, Excel or an Excel spreadsheet, or she can use a stinking piece of paper and just put down, okay, April's coming up next. I make $1,500 a month. She's going to assign or tell where each dollar of her $1,500 is going to be spent in the month of April. Let's say she had some rent of X, utilities of X, car payment of X, car insurance, cell phone bill. These are all fixed expenses, correct? That stay in her checking account. That's the money that stays in her checking account. Then she's got some grocery money. She's like, I need to eat. Everyone's got to eat. Groceries, whatever. Fast food, if that's part of what you do, whatever it is. Groceries, food. Then she's like, okay, Netflix, Disney Plus, I've got to keep those, right? $12, $11 a month, whatever it is you pay. And now she's down to, let's say, $100 that she has to still name. Everybody follow? She's already told $1,400 where it's going to go. Now she's like, wait a minute. I don't want to have a call from that mechanic and experience what people have experienced around the country. I'm doing $50 a month into that car repair savings account. And she's like, I'm doing clothes and shoes also, savings account, automatically going into those accounts. You guys follow? So she's named her cash. By the end of April, I will guarantee Danny that she's not going to spend $1,500 perfectly to the penny in all those categories, correct? She's not a robot, neither are you, nor me. But I will guarantee Danny or you that by the end of May, definitely by the end of June, 90-day window, Danny will know exactly how she financially rolls. She knows exactly kind of where her money is going. In 90 days, she'll know, hey, I spend I spend that much money on food. I spend that much. This is me. Danny will have a decision or a choice to make. If she's finding out she's spending $2,000 a month going into debt, she has two choices to make, right? It's this simple. She will either have to get another job part-time to make sure she doesn't go into debt in July, or she will either choose to spend less money somewhere. And so the money system, the most powerful step of the money system, you may think it's step 4, which is pretty darn close, always goes back to your step 1, why? You're dreaming. And what are you going to do to get there? So does that make sense, Danny? Any questions on step 3? When you do this, you do it before the month starts, and you will have a feeling of more control, and it's going to feel pretty darn good. We all want that, right? A little bit more feeling of control. As you make more money, all Danny would do as she makes more money each month with a new job or whatever she does, she's going to plug and play bigger numbers into those named savings accounts. Maybe she'll put more into a home down payment account. Again, I have no idea about Danny, whatever it is, new car savings account. It's like, you tell each dollar where it's going to go before the month starts. Does that make sense? Any questions about step 3? Okay, cool. All right, get ready. Put your seatbelts on. This is a pretty significant step. It's actually super significant. But again, I will teach you how to create ridiculous wealth in the next 10 minutes. But it's all about what step again? Your why. Some of you, sadly, will still not choose to invest within 24 hours of this presentation. I hope someday we can have 100% that says, I did it, I did it, I did it. We're getting the number up higher each presentation. But for some reason, some of you will still stick to what you either have, which is okay, stick to beliefs, which is okay. There's no forcing, there's no any of that. Some of you may still go, I still don't trust it. That's okay. But I'm going to try and give you as much fact and truth today so that you can leave here and go, no brainer, no brainer. So here's the first fact. Let me go back to this one. First bullet point. Automatic monthly investing in solid stocks creates wealth over time, as history proves it. Who likes proof with anything in life, right? Show me the proof. Show me the proof that if I do this or I take this, I'll feel better. Show me whatever. Show me anything. Here's the only stock market lesson you need to know, which means you do not have to go. If you want to, that's fine. I am not against these schools. I'm just letting you know, most people think like that's where the smart people go. That's where the people who get wealthy go. Stanford, Harvard, Yale, Princeton. Feel free to go to those schools. But I'm going to teach you here at CWI all you need to know to create wealth. But let's talk about the stock market. It's been around for 135 years. Is that a long time? A ton of time. Well, it actually is for what's going on for 135 years. So let's go through what's happened. The world wars, the Great Depression in the 20s, pandemics, plural. We've had all kinds of presidents in the White House from both sides of the aisle, different policies all over the place. We've had real estate booms and real estate what? Crashes. We've had stock market booms and what? Stock market crashes. Through all of the recessions, through all the economic calamities, the U.S. stock market has still returned to investors like me and hopefully you, and tens of millions of Americans who've been investing for many, many years have still returned a 10.2% ROI per year. Who likes the sound of that? 10.2% on average. You all don't have to be investment gurus. You all don't have to be stock market aficionados. No, who cares? I'm going to guarantee 98% of the faculty here at CWI, and Amy can confirm or deny, every 2 weeks, you probably have money going out into your retirement account at CWI. All that means is money's going into her mutual fund or an exchange traded fund made up of 100+ different stocks. Thank God for me too. And Amy doesn't have to choose those individual stocks. That would be overwhelming, right? She knows that they're being managed professionally, and that's all you want to be a part of. So if nearly all the faculty here at CWI, and likely most of your parents, or if anybody working as part of a 401k plan, that's awesome. Keep on doing that. Your money's going into a fund every 2 weeks, and you're owning companies like this. Who wants to be a part owner of Microsoft, Apple, Google, Netflix, Walmart, Target, Procter & Gamble, Nike, Coca-Cola? Shall I go on? Anybody want to be a part owner of those companies? They make profits every quarter. No, she doesn't. Okay. That's okay. We can talk us alongside afterward. All I can say is that there's no perfect investment in this world, right? But I will say there is historical evidence and proof that this is the closest thing to it to finally get your feet wet. If you want to invest in real estate, people talk about that sometimes. Go for it. But how much money do you have to get started in real estate? Yikes, a lot. Who has $5 to their name in here? I assume most of you do, because that's all that's required today to begin investing in the US stock market in a wide range of companies. Even those, if you don't believe in their products, you can actually get into a fund that doesn't have certain companies too, which is some environmental funds. If you can go, you can do all kinds of things to maybe stay away from a certain company. You can do that too. There's plenty of funds that do that. So if all you need is $5, we're then busting the myth today. Here's the myth that's been believed around the country. Ready? Fill in the blank. Investing is only for the who? Rich. All you need is $5 to join the rich and wealthy to own those stocks. Who likes the sound of that, right? And then it gets better. All you have to do, it's never been easier to get started in investing. It requires, again, very little money to start. Who likes the sound of ease? You all said you have a PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo, correct? It took you how many minutes to open that up? About this many, 5 minutes? Was anybody scared when they opened up their PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App when you had to give your bank information? Anybody being real? Anybody have a little trepidation? Yeah. So there is natural trepidation because you had to give your social security number, maybe your date of birth and your bank info. But did the fear not go away the next day when your friend sent you $10 for the pizza you bought them last night, the night before? The fear was gone, correct? Over 100 million users moving money digitally between those apps. The security is massively bank level security. What you have, what I handed out earlier, if you don't have one, is something from Acorns, where you can actually receive a $25 bonus just for opening up your first investment account through Acorns. It's a wonderful app. You can also open your account with Mountain America and start investing through what's called My Invest. Super simple, and own the same kind of companies. But we'll talk about Acorns in a little bit in a moment. But let's talk about what train that you want to jump on ASAP. Here's why. You want to jump on this compound interest train ASAP. Anybody heard of compound interest? Can anybody define it for me? Give it a shot. Anybody want to define it? Give it a shot. It's okay. I'll help you. Let's say our sponsor, Mountain America Credit Union, has billboards all over Boise, greater Boise. And the billboard said, and you had them on your phone, they'd start showing up, these ads started showing up on your phone. Open up a savings account with Mountain America and we'll provide a 10% interest rate. Would anybody jump into that line? There would be massive amount of people doing that, right? So this is super, super important to understand. Let's say you deposited $100 into that account. If they're paying 10% interest after year one, how much money do you have after year one? $110, correct? So let's go back. Let's use you as an example. What's your name? Say Set Lally. Yes, we met, but okay. Love that name. Much more fun than Todd. Set Lally with an L. Let's say Set Lally goes back to Mountain America year two. And she says, yeah, I'm taking my money out. She takes her $100 deposit out, correct? She gets $10 from Mountain America for the first year's interest payment. Year two, she also gets another $10, correct? She's walking out of the credit union and they say, Set Lally, we owe you some more money. And she's like, okay. Why do they owe her more money? Well, they owe her 10% of her $10 interest payment from year one as well. You guys follow on that? That's massive to understand. She has $121. She's now earning money off of the interest. So year three, if she kept her money in, she would have $133 in change. Year four, 148-ish in change. You guys following now what's going on? She's making money off of money off of money, interest upon interest. And here's how this plays out. Okay, anybody named Nick in here? You never know. How about the gentleman? We'll go with Martin again. Martin, how old are you? 18. All right, Martin, you're 18. This is a slide that is changing tens of thousands of lives across the country on the tour. So Martin's 18. He decides to still not invest anything. Oh, all of a sudden at age 26, he invests $150 a month coming out of your checking account into your investment account, Martin. You don't have to choose the stocks, thank God. You own 100+ different stocks like we talked about, just like Amy's doing, all those companies in a mutual fund or an ETF managed by a professional. And you do this every single year, Martin. 12 months times 150 is $1,800 every single year till age 65. Your total investment is $72,000 that you put in. We're using the last 35 years return in the stock market, which is just under 12%, by the way. So even if it was 10%, 11, 12, it's all pretty darn good either way, right? So let's look at this, Martin. Can you read aloud, how much did your 72 grand turn into through the power of compound interest? Okay, that's all right. I'll tell, that's okay. $1.7 million in change. Who likes the sound of that? Let's repeat what happened. He took 5 minutes to open up his My Invest account, maybe, Acorns investment account, Betterment, whatever it is you want to open up. That's all you did. It took you 5 minutes. Because of your date of birth, they put you into a portfolio of stocks. You don't have to choose. Boom. Away you go, just like your Venmo, PayPal. And you started doing your life. You wake up, you do what you do, you go to work, whatever it is. This is going on in the background of your life. Who wants to create autopilot wealth? It gets even better. Is there any young lady that's 18 in here? Any young lady that's 19? Going twice. Any young lady that's 20? Okay, we'll go with Danny, right? All right, Danny, let's go back 2 years. You did the same thing as Martin, and you did $150 a month. That's equal to $1,800 a year. But you put the brakes on. At age 26, Danny stopped investing. If this doesn't increase any heart rates in here, I don't know what will. But watch what happens. Ready, Danny? You only invested $14,400, right? That's all you did because you stopped at age 26. Nothing. You invested no more. Can you tell us, Danny, why in the world, when you invested 5 times less than Martin, why do you have $2.2 million? What's that? I'm sorry. You don't know. Okay. Well, I'll help you. You're going to get this. I'm going to watch my pointer. What's going on here? You see it? What you got the answer? Why? Why do you have more money? Look at these two numbers. Boom, she got it. Danny said, because I started earlier. Let's let this sink in, ladies and gentlemen, at CWI today. Danny, I bet you are super smart. I have no idea, but I'm guessing you are. But did you have to be any smarter than Martin to open up your account earlier? You just did the same thing. So that erases, am I smart enough? Are you capable enough to open up an investment account? Because you did it with Venmo, same information. Are you good enough to open up your investment account? Do you deserve it enough? Yes, you do. It's just I don't know, is it courage to open up the account? I don't know. I think you just open up your Venmo, right? Whatever. So you can withdraw your money within seconds from your investment account down the road if you choose to, back in your checking account if that's what you wish to do. So that's not scary. It's not in there for like, oh, I can't take it out. Nope, you want. So pretty cool, isn't it, Danny? But it gets even crazier and more ridiculous. You ready for that ridiculous wealth? Danny, will you actually stop investing at age 26? She said no, almost before the last word of my question. She gets it. Why would she stop? Why would you stop? No one's going to stop. If she does not stop, she will have just under $8 million. Anybody like the sound of that? And let's repeat, what did she do? She just opened her account. If you don't have $150 today, which likely most of you don't, if not all of you, great if you do. We have some people, but you can start with $5 a month, $10 a month. As you make more money, you just keep adding to it. And I will put Amy on the spot. It's a super simple question, but I'll put her on the spot. Do you think these students in here, in a couple to 3 years, maybe even probably 3 years from now, if they follow the money system, steps 1, 2, and 3, with their employer, with a job that they get, they'll have a 401k plan or 403b. Do you think they can blow past $150 a month in investing? Jesus went like this. Every instructor, every teacher, every administrator that's part of the presentation says 100% absolutely. So do you see how the numbers get really kind of crazy and ridiculous? It's true. You don't even have to wait till you're 65. You can take money out in 7, 8, 9, 10 years from your Betterment or your My Invest or your Acorns investment account and put it toward a nice down payment on a house. Who likes the sound of that? Start a business someday, whatever that is. Yeah, whatever that might be. Acorns, this special link, if you downloaded their app, by the way, you only get a $5 bonus. We have a business partnership with them that can give you $25 bonus just for opening up your investment account. They have a feature that's pretty sweet called roundups. That means when you use your debit card, because it's attached to your bank, right? Let's say, what's your favorite, Martin, what's your favorite place to go eat fast food, fast casual? Chick-fil-A. Let's say you go to Chick-fil-A and you spend $12.50 on a meal. You hand the cashier at drive-through your debit card. Acorns will automatically round up your purchase to the next whole dollar. That 50-cent spare change will automatically go into your investment account. Who likes the sound of that? It's pretty sweet. They've already done some research that based on roundups and how you use your debit card, most people will have about $30 to $45 a month just in spare change, rounding up, going into their investment account so that you can start creating wealth. You can do $5 a month, $5 a week, $10 a month, 20. You can change it within seconds on the app. Good luck. You're going to get addicted to the app. Sorry. It's a pretty fun app to be addicted to, though. You can toggle on the app. It'll show you what if you move it up to $100 someday, 150, 100, 300, that's what the value will be in 8, 9, 10, 12 years. All kinds of cool stuff. So we're just incentivizing you guys further. If you open up your investment account, it doesn't have to be with Acorns. You can have multiple accounts. My Invest with Mountain America. If you open up your Acorns investment account by midnight tonight, we will send you via email what's called the Young Money University Bundle, the YMU Bundle. We're going to give you the money system course, the Investing Made Easy course, and the digital copy of this book as well. We'll just email it to you, all for free. And you have access to email us with any money question whatsoever for a year. We will not give tax, legal, or specific investment advice. I'm not going to tell you, we won't tell you what stock to buy. We can't do that. But anything else. We get all kinds of fun, cool questions, though, that people have sent us. So by midnight, all you do is you send an email to this email. Send us an email to support@youngmoneyuniversity.com. Support@youngmoneyuniversity.com by midnight tonight. And you'll just say, hey, I'm at CWI. We open up the Acorns account. We know what that means. And boom, we'll send that information to you. This is another bonus. So that's step 4. And then I'm going to end here. It takes 2 minutes with the last step. Unless someone has a question on step 4. Any questions? Can anybody do step 4 in here with a raise of hands? Awesome. Awesome. Yes. Yeah, actually, we had a similar question yesterday, Jed, from someone who said, I've maxed out my, this is a coach at Boise State. I've maxed out my Roth IRA, because you only can put $6,000 a year, that range. Changes every year, but say $6,000. And they have their 401k going. And I said, well, definitely do your Acorns or your My Invest, and maybe that's your something for some people are using their investment accounts that's not their Roth or their 401k to do things from their house, buy a car for cash down the road, start a business, whatever it is. But again, unless you're a real estate aficionado or you want to get into that, go for it. But I would open up another investment account and have the same boring stocks in them to just keep doing the system. Because the more you put in there, the more the money gets crazy. That's all. So the answer is there's nothing new under the sun, so to speak. But when you do things like I did in my 20s, where I started to trade stocks thinking I was Mr. Smart Guy, then I got my rear end kicked and I lost half of my net worth within 12 months. So I hope that answers your question. I would just open up another investment account to keep adding, keep the numbers going higher. So someday you're going to get to 1,000 a month. Maybe you're there. I don't know. 2,000 a month. Just keep adding because the numbers they snowball to numbers you really can't imagine over time. Good question. Any other questions on step 4? All right, last step, and I'll be here afterward to answer any individual questions. This is all about, I'll just ask Martin and Danny. Remember last slide, what I've helped you create is some pretty significant wealth. Do you think you might be able to help other people in need over time with that wealth? How fun would that be? A life of helping people who are truly in need. Maybe that's your family, extended family, people in the news that you find out that had a fire and their family is now living homeless. Whatever it is, you run across people. We all do. Almost every day we see someone in need, right? And I had a young woman and a young man in the last few months state that they don't want to be this kind of person when they get older. They don't want to be the person that is so financially strapped that when there's a real need, they can't even help anybody because they can't even get ahead themselves. That makes sense? I know that's a feeling that I've had in the past. And so all I can say is the money system is not about only me helping you get to where you want to go, but I hope it gives you more purpose and meaning in your life to make an impact too. So that's the money system, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Everybody like that they came today? Are you happy you came today? When we were talking earlier, are you glad you came? Awesome. So again, I'll be up here to answer any questions. Would you mind doing something for our sponsor? It takes 40 seconds. It's a survey, quiz, if you will, survey, 4 questions of what you thought about the presentation. And so I would greatly appreciate your help in that. They are super generous to sponsor not only the presentations in Idaho and also Utah and Phoenix, but also they're giving any student at CWI the money system course as well. They're sponsoring that for thousands of students here that want to take it. So thank you for that. You are welcome. Thank you.